So this is meant to be a channel update.
Yeah, well, I know 300 isn't a huge number, but I thought it was about time that we actually showed ourselves in a video together. I mean, we've been hesitant to do the old style because, you know, our solo videos have been doing so well, but that's part of the reason we are doing this update as well, I think, because we've gotten all this new traction, all these new subscribers, which we'll go over a little bit later, but I think they deserve to know about the relationship that created this channel, I suppose.
Yeah. Actually, it's interesting you said that because I actually saw something with Gary Vee the other day, and he was talking about how small creators get in that trap of making content that gets views instead of the content that they want to do. And I know that we do like making the you know, solo videos that we make, but yeah, we did definitely make a shift because we saw that we were getting way more engagement with our solo videos. So it's good to finally sort of come back to our roots of why we did the channel.
Yeah, that metaphor was exactly what I was going to use as well. Come back to
really?
Which I was like, I wonder if he's going to say it. Yeah. No, but it's so true. Like when I just thought about doing this idea, I messaged you this morning. This wasn't planned. I was just like, I'm pumped. I need to call you. And then we decided to record this.
Yeah.
So I think it's been overdue, but it's a good time now that we have seen a lot of traction. I mean, you know, comparatively, 300 subscribers, 320 or whatever it is that we're at the moment isn't you know, amazing by the standards of, you know, PewDiePie or whatever, who would get that in a second.
Yeah.
But for us, like, you know, it just sort of solidifies our, you know, what we believed would happen if we were to just put our content out there. And it's really motivating, and we're just so thankful for everyone who's come and is now part of the journey with us.
Yeah. I always say, like when I talk to my partner about this, like, yeah, 300 or so isn't that much, but I always try and compare it to, instead of looking at the big picture of 1 million subscribers, I always kind of think, okay, well, how many, like, I look at my room and I go, if there were 300 people in this room, that is a lot of people that watch, that you have chosen to subscribe. Yeah. So that's the sort of the way I like to think about it, which is cool. It's exciting stuff.
It's super cool. So I think in light of that, and in light of part of this channel being transparency, or one of the core values, I should say, of the channel being transparency, I think in this video we're going to go through some of our channel analytics, you know, some of the things, our best performing videos, how we're doing in terms of views overall, and our progress towards monetization. And then at the end we do have an announcement, quite an exciting announcement, so definitely stay tuned.
So first up, we should look at our channel analytics, and having a look at them now, it's pretty crazy. So we've gotten 199 subscribers just in the last 90 days. So that's definitely more than half of our current subscribers in these last 3 months, which is pretty crazy. So another cool thing that we should probably mention is that right now I'm on the June page. So it's our monthly analytics for June. As you can see, we got 2,000 views and 166 hours of watch time, and also 48 subscribers in the month of June. Now, what I want to sort of demonstrate here is just how crazy 1 month to another can be with growth. So if we jump to,
I mean, before we show them, the crazy thing is like in June we were like, this is insane, what is happening, you know? Like we were just like, this is incredible, things are like, they're gonna start going like, I think I remember us saying like, oh, imagine if we got 150 watch hours every month from here on out, or 200, to be to try and be a bit more optimistic. And then July happened, and go on.
And it's so crazy because I feel like our the way we describe it to people is it's a snowball effect. Like if you have a little snowball and you put it on top of a mountain and it's rolling down the hill, it's just going to keep picking up momentum. And it's exactly the same with this. With consistency, you just sort of get momentum. So I hope Connor puts both screenshots now because you've probably forgotten the other numbers. But in July, we got 4,900 views and 320 hours of watch time. And not only that, but also 130 subscribers just like in this last month, because August just started. And you can even see, like, if you see at the very bottom left of the graph, like May and our views, and then you go right down to the start of August now, just how much like it's picked up in how many views we get.
Definitely. And I mean, we said it from the beginning, and most YouTube channels, I think, experience this, but the growth is exponential, which is like one of the crazy things. Because when we go, okay, so assuming this stays the same, it's going to take us X amount of time to get monetized. In a lot of cases, it'll be much shorter than that because of that growth.
Yeah, that's a good segue. We should probably go into monetization. So on screen now, you will probably see what our monetization goals are and what is required on YouTube to actually be able to put ads on your videos and then essentially make money.
And seeing it in this sort of graphic really gives you an idea of how close you are to getting it. And I mean, you know, as Alan was saying in the beginning, it moved fractionally over large periods of time, but really in the last 90 days, 30 days, last 2 months or so, it's just started going up like crazy. And so I think now, to sort of give you a more in-depth understanding of how that came, I think we should have a look at our views in the last 48 hours, because that really sort of shows that there were a few contributing videos that have really helped us on this, you know, this speed route to the goals that we want to achieve. So now when you go back to the analytics page, you can see again the progress over the last 90 days, but you get this real-time update sort of tab on the right-hand side. And as you can see there are the top videos in the period and how many views we got over the last 48 hours. And I mean, we haven't posted in the last 48 hours and we have 429 views. I mean, like I said, comparatively to these crazy channels, it's nothing. But to us, 429 views without having to do anything, just sort of working in the background, it really is a phenomenon and really is so exciting to see. Yeah. And so you get a little taster of it there. There are a couple of videos that really drive that. But that's been going on for months now. And these videos just consistently bring in views. And it's interesting to see where they actually come from.
Yeah, like I was telling Connor, so currently with Elite Football, we're running an ad, and it's about a 10-day ad, and it's about $10 every day. And we're getting about 150 people visiting the website every day, so every 24 hours. What's really cool to me is that, so we're paying for that. That's an ad. So $10 gives you 150 people looking at your website. And what's really cool about this YouTube thing is that we're getting 429 views every 48 hours. So let's just round it down to 200 people every 24 hours. It's more than what we're getting with our ad, and we're not having to pay anything, which is really like cool for me, especially to be able to see that and like the potential growth of the channel.
Now, if we're going to break it down a little bit further, as I said, our growth really can be attributed to obviously consistent uploading, but there's a couple of videos that have really hit home in terms of the search terms and how we have developed SEO in the titling and the description and whatnot. And so if we go just a little bit deeper and we have a look at a deeper breakdown, you can see here that in the last 48 hours, we've got 429 views. But in the last 60 minutes alone, and this is, you know, where as of recording this is like midday on a Tuesday, we've got 15 views in the last hour. So that's pretty incredible. And so then if you have a look a little bit further down, it's got a breakdown of which video brought in these views in the last 60 minutes and over the last 48 hours. And we've got a bit of a race going on. So consistently the best performing videos, the best 4 have been Alan's tax video, the top one at the moment, which is 89 views in the last 48 hours. And then the top 10 highest paying jobs, also an Alan video. Then you've got the best 5 Australian credit cards, my video, and then the how to use Stake app. That's also one of my videos. And you know, they're always jumping between one another. The first one that started it was actually the credit card video, and it now is, other than our ad, is the most viewed video on the channel. But I think it's only going to be a matter of time before Alan's tax video overtakes it, particularly in this time. It is just getting crazy numbers and surpassing where any other video was at, given how short a time it's actually been up. So yeah.
It's hard to justify it. It's hard, like, because from like my perspective, I saw the credit card video and the steak app one actually brings in a lot of engagement for us. The two videos did really well. And I believe it's tough because I think as we go on uploading videos, our latest videos will always have more of an advantage than our earlier videos because we have more subscribers, more viewers. So they're automatically starting with more views. So it's probably easier for them to get into like the search terms and like be sort of pushed to people, which is like what we might be seeing with my tax one because it came out in July, where there's the credit card video of Connor came out in May. So it's quite a big difference in the time frames of those videos.
And that's a thing. I always think, some of these videos that we've already created that haven't really gotten that far are actually really good videos in our own opinions. And, we're not the YouTube algorithm, but we're like, oh, this is really good. Imagine if we could just repost that in a few years or whatever when we have a much bigger audience. Like, those videos would do so well. But that's just part of the process. You got to try and put out the best content you can early. You can't only reserve that for when you get huge, because you might actually get huge. Now, one thing that I did want to mention was the best way to reduce tax video. That's my one. That's just underneath the top 4, and it usually sits around that point. Now, the reason I wanted to mention this one is because it is one of the best performing videos, just usually outside of those top 4 in most, 48-hour cycles. But it doesn't get its views like the other ones get their views. So all of those other ones get the majority of their views from search terms. So for people searching something in YouTube and it coming up in the search list, being good spots with the SEO. But with this one, and I'll open it up for you, and you can see 42%, the majority weighting actually come from the browse feature. And so that's quite unique because most of other videos get it particularly through the search. So that means that it's actually coming up on people's home pages and subscribe pages, which is really interesting. So yeah, it's cool to see that, we now have another video that is getting a lot of traction, but not just from YouTube search. It's getting pushed in other ways, which is really exciting.
So Connor, while all these talk about analytics and numbers must be fascinating for everyone.
Yeah, particularly me, the numbers nerd.
The real reason you wanted to make this video with me today is because you wanted to make an announcement.
Yes. So if you've been paying attention, I made a video on the 7 money mistakes. And anyway, at the end of that, I gave a bonus tip where I talked about this financial well-being checklist. And so I said that I was going to, in the next couple of weeks, make a video on this. And I've done a little bit of thinking and we've developed a mini series, which is going to be the Gen Z or Generation Z financial well-being checklist. And this is for any Australian who wants to just take control of their personal finance. And so, as I mentioned in the other video, it covers things like your credit score, understanding how much you should pay in tax, your superannuation, calculating your net worth, and all of these things, which are really sort of instrumental in understanding how finances work. But there's going to be quick videos, very sort of tutorial-like, to give everyone the skills or the knowledge they need to get on top of it. And it was things that I had to figure out on my own. And so if there can be one sort of playlist or one place we can get all that information, we just want to pass that on. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah,
as you can tell.
Yeah, it is interesting, and I think it will help a lot of people, especially in our generation, that might not be super interested in like these finance stuff. But I feel like making the videos the way we do might actually get a lot of people interested and see that it's very easy to get on top of your finances and just how well you can work around and how you can manipulate the system, and it might actually make people as excited as we are about these topics. Now, because this is sort of a channel update video, before we wrap it up, if you do have any suggestions, this is the place. You're more than welcome to let us know in the comments what you think we should make and what videos you do want to see from us.
Lastly, again, I know we said in the beginning, but we'd just really like to thank anyone who's shown support in us and been liking the videos, watching the videos. It really does help us in more ways than we can explain in a short video, and more ways than you would probably imagine as well.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. And you would probably gather that from this video, that to the third person's eye, the numbers that we're showing are probably insignificant and small, but to us they mean a lot, because we do see that every single number represents a person, and it's almost special to us that so many people in our minds take the time to subscribe and like and comment. So again, yeah, I agree with Connor. Thank you for the support.